What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you for the early Saturday morning edition of NFL Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a president of our great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I said it was going to be over. I said the sale would be done, but you know what? I didn't have time to take it off the board. So it's going through the weekend all the way to Sunday. Promo code SWEET12. That is from Week 9's goodness that obviously could not have gotten a lot better. Week 10, pretty flat. There's a joke there somewhere. The flat earthers, we'll just let them go with it. Science, but whatever. Sweep 12, friends. That is good stuff right now. $12 of the Lindy and Friends Discord for just $12. The entire month, that's less than 50 cents a day. It's because I love you. Keeps the doctor away. But we got a lot of plays to get to. Let's just start diving in, shall we? Week 11, fight. Hello, everyone. It's Lindy's Leans. We're going to get through the lean section here. I want to get to the likes because I have a boatload of them. I have 5 plays on the board here, the most that I've had on an individual video here in the NFL streets all season long. It's a slate I like a lot, but there's a lot of weather beginning with, well, there's a game before this. It's going to be on the like section. So pretend like you're not going to Spain yet for that. Anyway, we got ourselves the Bengals and Steelers, and it looks windy, but neither of these teams really are all that functionally defensive right now. Obviously, Steelers, primetime LA Chargers had no problem. Vidal just ran all over them. But Chase Brown, T. Higgins, got to feel good if you're one of those two owners in fantasy. I really have tons of them in all of my leagues, purely because Joe Flacco, wacko for Flacco, has worked out very, very nicely. So strange that Cleveland was all right trading to a divisional opponent. I know that Mike Tomlin on the other side was not happy about such things when Cincy and Pittsburgh played earlier. But now in this matchup, I know that we don't have Hendricks out there. I know that Cincinnati can't stop anybody whatsoever, but they do have a functional enough corners situation where I'm going to say they're going to stop Calvin Austin and DK Metcalf, not even slow them down necessarily, but this seems like a game where Jaylen Warren should be able to get involved a little bit, and Chase Brown should be able to get involved a little bit. And if they're finding success, tick, 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 we got to get a little bit of that in our lives if we're going to bet the under. But I didn't pull the trigger on it purely because I really don't trust either defense. And despite the weather, I don't want to factor it in crazy amount. When you get into like that 25, 30 mile per hour territory, like we'll talk about with Tampa, Buffalo, that's when it really starts to affect downfield passing. But sitting around 15, 20 sustained, I think I'm going to just kind of stay away from this game in general, although it's got some really nice pass catching goodness from a DFS perspective. Anyway, that's for sure. Jaylen Warren, too important for that slate. Anyway, we care about betting. Chargers taking on Jacksonville in this spot. Jacksonville, you had craziness from Parker Washington, returns a touchdown there, has another touchdown. Of course, he didn't get over his receiving yard prop. The story of my last week of betting NFL is I identify exactly who goes nuclear, but maybe just take him on like a Prize Picks fantasy score route because Henderson falls a yard short. A yard. We got hooked by a yard on the Prize Picks card there on his rushing plus receiving prop on this program. Had the 100 plus that I absolutely loved. Fortunately, kept it at just a half unit, although it came down in an earlier round and Sugar, we were coming down swinging. Well, yeah, he went ballistic. 3 touchdowns, but of course, didn't cash a single one of those rushing props. 70.5, I believe, was where it finished at as it dipped for no reason. But whatever. Kamani Vidal, I do think he's a little bit sneaky in terms of touchdown equity in this one. I think it's a great spot to be the pass catchers. And then Brian Thomas is expected back here in this one. We'll see how he, Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington all kind of fit together. Very messy situation trying to figure out who's what and where. Looks like a better spot for unders than anything else, although obviously from a weather perspective, one of the better ones on the board considering it's in Florida as opposed to Buffalo. Tampa Bay taking on the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo coming off the most embarrassing football game you could ever watch as a Bills fan in the history of your life. And then Tampa Bay, well, they ended up in a dogfight, but Drake May is that dude. Travion Henderson is that dude when Mike Vrabel allows for him to do such things, and injuries kind of allow him to do such things. But anyway, I do think the ground game should be able to be not effective in terms of like getting the ball downfield, but it is terrible weather. And I do trust Buffalo coming off of a loss to really, really get after it here. The main thing is like Allen sitting right around even money, a little bit better, a little bit worse now, minus 110. On the James Cook side, I think James Cook is actually the more appealing of the two touchdown plays, sitting around minus 155, minus 160. I think that's the more appealing, like, hey, I'm going to throw like a 3 touchdown parlay together. Or there's a lot of boosts that exist across the industry, places like FanDuel, places like Novik, places like DraftKings, wherever it might be that you're playing, no matter what state you're in, you're going to have access to something. You normally need 3 legs. And so, yeah, Cook, I think, is actually a sneaky one because I think he should be priced closer into that minus 180, minus 190 route. And right now he's not. So there's that. As I'm recording here, I had a feeling that was going to happen, but whatever. NBA news coming through. I'm going to have to get myself to it. But Tennessee money line. They get Simmons back in this spot. They get Ridley back in this spot. And they take on Davis Mills in Houston, who looked functional in come-from-behind mode against Jacksonville. Probably don't want to put yourself behind the 8 ball like that. And Najee Spears, he was more inefficient than I was expecting last time out. And, well, Tony Pollard, all of this stuff. Got a lot of teams coming off buys and things of that nature. But Houston, their defense keeps rolling, even though it was kind of a strange situation, like defensive touchdowns, weirdness from the Jacksonville side in that last game. I looked at a couple of different underlying metrics, DVOA, and Tennessee's obviously been struggling. Cam Ward's really struggled. But you would too if you're throwing it to like DK and a bunch of cast-offs there. Kongwu's not really had a great year himself. Obviously, huge regression from him. But getting some healthy pieces back. Nice plus money at home. You gotta win a game sooner rather than later, right? Right? Yeah, I'm not really sold on that one. But low total, low variance. I'll take the home team at big plus money, potentially as a lean for now, and maybe it ends up on the card. Jameis Winston is back in our lives. And football is better when Jameis Winston is playing quarterback, although I can't believe how nuclear some of these numbers got. We got Darius Slayton's going to be out for this one. We obviously know their number one in Neighbors is out for the season with that torn ACL. But Wan'Dale Robinson, 5.5 receptions, that got juiced up real quick. He's a short ADOT guy, that's average depth of target. And he gets to go up against a Green Bay team that kind of cushions that out, allows for Theo Johnson to look pretty good in this spot here as well. Plus Jameis, you could see a pick 6 and 3 touchdowns in that box score. Nothing would surprise me come Sunday, but weather is not great. And this is kind of one of those things. The best friend of a quarterback is a running game. With Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary as your main 2 in the backfield there, yeah, we just got rid of Dable, but I say we, I'm a Viking fan, but, said we as the community, the betting community, got rid of Brian Dable. I don't know. Jameis Winston just from the cloud. We'll see what happens here. This will be a wild one to watch. A large range of outcomes might be an interesting live betting spot, even though I don't do a ton of that. It's hard for me to help and advise other people how to do such things. So usually just kind of keep that to myself. Baltimore, 7.5-point favorites sticking on Cleveland. They get Lamar Jackson back out there. Yeah, he's important. He's a quarterback who matters. But Judkins, I think he should be able to be semi-effective in this spot against Baltimore. They look very functionally defensively against J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings last time out. But now we go outdoors. We got the dog pound. We got Cleveland that's still, I'd say they've got some zest for life here. Although Dylan Gabriel hasn't been atrocious as people might. He's been pretty bad, though. Want to give him love because he's an Oregon Duck, and I love my wife. But anyway, Kansas City taking on Denver. Rashee Rice touchdown. It's weird to me that I didn't end up betting this because I feel like I've just bet Rashee Rice touchdown every single time. Plus, Pat Surtain out, but the pass rush. I mean, this is one of those things where Andy Reid coming off of a bye is just electric boogie, woogie, woogie. But I don't really love going into Mile High and taking on a Denver defense with so many amazing pass rushers in my first game back. Plus, just kind of a thin out backfield. Plus, yeah, it's just one of those spots where Kansas City's defense should be pretty effective as well. I don't think either team really pushes each other, although I would like it to happen because of some of my year-long fantasy teams that just need Rashee Rice to keep going ballistic. Rice touchdown, going to stay off the board more than likely for today. And rounding it all out, Detroit and Philly in the Sunday Night Football. Spectacular. No words were vernacular, but we got Sam Laporta out for this one. Brock Wright is the guy who's kind of, the de facto number 2 and was getting some of the hype coming into this week from Dan Campbell. I think Ross Dwelly's the more capable pass catcher. Ross Dwelly we saw with San Francisco in relief of George Kittle when George Kittle was hurt. I don't know, he's been hurt like throughout his NFL career. Playing tight end for the 49ers, meaning somebody gets targeted a lot. Yeah, you're probably going to get hurt from time to time. But Ross Dwelly, he's functional to some extent as well. I think he might be the sneakier guy between the two. And Brock Wright, if he gets steamed up in terms of the touchdown equity here, I could really see myself playing a long shot Ross Dwelly here so long as he is active for Sunday Night Football. So you got to pay attention to that one. Obviously, there's nothing available on him right now, but I want him on your mind because Jahmyr Gibbs, unbettable. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I mean, it's basically under or passes on these guys here at this moment in time. Or unless you want to bet 2 tutties for him or David Montgomery gets back into the mix. But it was obviously all Jahmyr Gibbs against Washington. Good times? Good times. Also good times. Tails. Feel like Lindy joined Tails today. We'd love for you guys to check out everything that we're offering over there with the Tails app. Download it over on your phone. Download it at the Google Play Store or Google Play or the Apple App Store, which I think it's like 90% of you. But Feel like Lindy joined Tails today. We'd love for you guys to check it out. Plus, you can get my replays that I throw out from time to time as well and sign up for the VIP for me, DK, DFS, and the NBA streets. So many sharp experts, still little time. Let's get to the likes, though, shall we? Yeah, these are all posted in the premium Discord already. So some of these numbers move. Hey, just saying. Pretty easy way. Promo code SWEET12. Can't believe we're still doing that this weekend. But you know what? You're loved. Washington taking on Miami. I bet they love the fact that this game is going to be played in lovely Madrid. Now, I don't have a ton to break down as far as like the Washington side, purely because Terry McLaurin continuing to be out. We're getting Marcus Mariota in relief of Jaden Daniels. We're getting Deebo Samuel playing a lot on the outside, but sub 50.5 receiving props for him there. I do think he's the most interesting touchdown play from the entire game. Devon Achane, our boy, they massacred my boy. But he deserves what he's got there. Zach Ertz, 45.5. I looked at his receiving yards prop. I ended up staying away as well. Just everything looks hyper efficient. And when you have a quarterback that's playing within the system, Marcus Mariota, and can do some things with his legs, and Miami coming off of just a high voltage win, and Washington's defense being able to stop nobody, I just get a little bit nervous when I could make those kind of plays in spots where quarterbacks are projected for 270, 280, and they're going to be on the field the exact same amount, and they don't have to get targeted, like peppered to a nauseating extent to get there. It just becomes very difficult when you get these high variance things that require, one, that they don't get hurt, two, a number of times where, you're not going to get that in one chunk play with the way that they function with their offense. But on the Miami side, Malik Washington, they end up going completely nuclear against Buffalo. Probably the most impressive win that they've had in the last 2-3 years, I would say. McDaniel, they said that they're going to keep him throughout the rest of the season. I think it might have just cleared up everybody on Miami to say, F it, we're going to play football. You got Chubb, you got everybody else going completely nuts. But on the offensive end, it's been Jalen Waddle doing all of his madness. Well, Malik Washington, he had been playing north of 60% of snaps the previous 4 weeks. Last week, he's only 5'8", 195, actually, like a thicker 158 dude. But yeah, he plays in the NFL. That shouldn't be surprising. But you didn't really want him blocking out there as like the wide receiver too. So we saw some more snaps going like Cedric Wilson's direction, things of that nature. I think Malik Washington, 27.5 receiving yards. I think he gets back to that over 60% target share. Or sorry, not target share. That'd be insane. 60% snap rate. I think the target share will be back in place here, coming off of a run-heavy Devon Achane game script and being up against Buffalo the entire way from front to back, from pillar to post. So, Malik Washington, we continue on our merry way. Oops. Chicago taking on my Minnesota Vikings, and the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, J.J. McCarthy at the helm here yet again. Caleb Williams, this team is just rolling behind. Ben Johnson, we knew it was going to be good. We didn't know it was going to be this good for the Bears this early. NFC North is a gauntlet. The Lions, the Packers, the Bears, the Vikings, all four of them live in every capacity, whether it's to make the playoffs, win the division. Feels good to be the Lions, the Packers. But hey, whoever wins this one, they're going to have a massive leg up as we get down to the end of the season here. We saw them face off week one, it was, and obviously J.J. McCarthy had one good quarter of football, or like half of football, if you want to count like third, fourth quarter there. He did some miraculous things to kind of salvage a game that was not going his direction by any means. But I do think that this comes down to what you believe and how you know ball, and I know ball, friends. Aaron Jones touchdown, plus 140. As we got down to the end of the year, as long as Aaron Jones was healthy, which, again, the shoulder looked fine. Massively outsnapping Jordan Mason here. And even if Jordan Mason comes out on the field and plays a lot, it's probably when Minnesota's up 2 or 3 scores. And Aaron Jones has a very good chance of being the main guy, the main culprit, who ends up putting those points up on the board in the first place. You got Chicago. You can run against them all you want. Plus, Aaron Jones, you now unleash him. You now let him go. Last year was the inverse where we probably played too much Aaron Jones early. Didn't really have a choice. They didn't like the other options, nor should they have. And now you do have a functional Jordan Mason just waiting in the wings, but he's the backup plan come week 11 here in a must-win spot, which is basically every game the rest of the way home for an NFC North team. So Aaron Jones touchdown, plus 140. I like it. I love it. I don't want any more of it than a half unit, but half unit it is. Carolina taking on Atlanta, friends, and Carolina Panthers. This is just one of those really, really tough spots as far as like you have to throw certain things out the window. Carolina beating Green Bay, a little bit of an outlier. Carolina throwing up a dud against New Orleans last week, a little bit of an outlier. Like they have really had some of the stranger game scripts all season long. You had that Arizona weirdness that went down over there. But Ted McMillan, you had a flare of a hamstring injury pop up on Friday. He looked all right and obviously semi-functional. Bryce Young's been brutal, man. There's nothing to say, but they're getting 4 points, 3.5 at a number of books, and I'm okay with that. The difference between 3.5 and 4, not as big as 3 and 3.5, although it's really in the modern NFL with field goal kicking and going for 2 and all the other things, these half points outside of 3 matter a lot more in some of these high variance type outcomes. Now, it's a lower total outcome game, lower variance outcome game, but Atlanta, Drake London questionable. And as of recording this right now, early in the morning on Saturday, there is nothing out there on what's going to happen with it. It feels like a true coin flip, a 50-50. But wouldn't you rather take the points in that scenario, especially when you've got this inside of a field goal as is? I sure would. And that's what I did. Carolina minus 110 at ESPN Bet. These goobers. ESPN Bet. Rip the score. That's going to be fun. You should probably figure out how to run a sports book. But Carolina plus 4, we're going to take that all day in this spot. It just projects out too well. Obviously, got this closer to a 60% type win outcome. And, minus 110, inside of 53, 54%. Feel pretty good about getting our money attached to that. Nice little edge for your day. My one spread that I ended up betting for this week. Wanted to jump in early on this, didn't. San Francisco minus 3 against Arizona. And I saw some of the look-ahead lines. Brock Purdy, I get Mac Jones is really balled out at times. And obviously last week was not pretty, but the Rams defense can do that to people. And we're going to talk about the Rams coming up next. I think in the game of the week, if we're going to be honest, I think most people think that too, but Detroit Philly's still going to be really fun. San Francisco, Arizona, another NFC West showdown. You have Brock Purdy coming out there at the helm. The rapport he has with Jennings is definitely going to be something that you're going to notice. Not that Mac Jones didn't target him there ad nauseum, but with Brock Purdy getting the start here in this spot, there is a little bit of risk where it's like, hey, the foot doesn't look right, aggravation. I kind of want to stay away from anything that has to do with Brock Purdy on this one. I do think that Christian McCaffrey, this sets up as like a 7, 8, 9 target, 4, 5, 6, 7 catch type game. It could get ridiculous in that. I simulated out a lot of stuff where it's like, oh my God, Arizona really plays, they try to bend and not break. They try to not give up the big plays. And that's really what I want you focused in on for that. If you're going to bet anything on the San Francisco side, it feels like a slower, more methodical game than like a 48.5 total would have. I actually lean a little towards the under, but I didn't bet the under because I like this prop a lot. Jacoby Brissett over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Now, the keen eye and the people who are saying like the last 4, last 5 rows, you're going to notice Jacoby Brissett's 100% hit rate on this sucker. So, not breaking any news there. But it was one of those things I talked about last week, and it was like, why didn't I just pull the trigger? Because Jacoby Brissett is a massive upgrade over Kyler Murray at the moment. Kyler Murray, whatever version we've watched of him for the last year and a half, it's not up to par for a number 1 pick, for an NFL caliber quarterback. And you can talk about his height, you can talk about his Call of Duty record, which I'm sure is pretty good. But Jacoby Brissett gives them the best chance to win right now. Obviously, Kyler Murray on IR, gracefully done by them. Good job, Arizona. Thinking ahead, more teams need to do stuff like that where you can just finagle an injury and like put them on the back burner and have no responsibility to play them for 4 weeks. But Jacoby Brissett over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Michael Wilson going to be your main guy out there with, of course, the main guy, Trey McBride. Greg Dortch almost made it in the touchdown department as well, but I do see passing touchdowns in our future. San Francisco still just decrepit out there on defense. You saw the Rams. Kyron Williams, we like him a lot coming off of last week's touchdown. Back 2-2 on the video. Pretty flat. Again, plus money on Kyron Williams made no sense, but I have a lock. I buried the lead the entire way because we have now arrived to my favorite play of the entire weekend, and it makes no sense to me that we're getting this. We got the game of the week, 48.5 total. Pretty big total here considering the defensive tenacity there. I guess the Seahawks put up 2 defensive touchdowns. Looks like the same play against Jacoby Brissett there. Got off to like a 28-0 first quarter because that's normal stuff that happens in football. But the Rams, they got Jared Verse. They got a lot of pieces there on the defensive side that should be making things a little bit more difficult, although Seattle's offensive line has just been phenomenal. And Sam Darnold, you give him time. We saw that last year with Darisaw. When Darisaw went down, Sam Darnold turned into dust again. Seattle, if their offensive line stays intact, Sam Darnold's the number 2 PFF graded passer this season. It makes complete sense to me. The eye test is passed, but the eye test always passes and has since day one watching him at Ohio State for one JSN. And I do want to give love to Puka Nacua. I want to give love to Devontae Adams, who continues to get it done in the red zone at this stage of his career. Does have a little bit of a hammy injury. So I'm going to kind of, that might be a live player pass kind of thing for me too. But this is an upfront, just absolute slamma jamma. JSN touchdown is plus 121. Why? All he does is put up 100-yard games. All he does is break defenses down from the slot, from the outside. He can do everything. And they added a burner in Rashid Shaheed that you have to respect over the top if you're the Rams. Horton, he's expected to be back, although, Miso Horton, he's been fine this season as a rookie, or second, whatever. Troy Horton. But regardless, JSN touchdown, I graded this out, and I'm like, this is not even a 50-50 prop. This is like the minus 120, minus 125 range. We're getting plus 121. The disrespect of this number. He gets big plays done. He gets it done in the red zone if you need those kind of rolls. And obviously, we've had a lot of money wagered here on the Seattle side. We've hit Charbonnet at the right times. We've hit Walker at the right times. Actually, one time we didn't. That's on me. We've hit JSN touchdowns at the right time. We have really pulled the strings. Barner was an absolute cash cow for us week 9 with the push touchdown. I could not love JSN more in this spot. So many game scripts, so many ways that he finds the box for us on Sunday. I absolutely love it. Lock it up. Favorite play of the weekend by far. Y'all, one more time for the people in the back. Sweep 12. Promo code Sweep 12. I would love it. Hey, there you go. AJ Barner. Talked about it. Bottom of your screen there. Anyway, we had a really nice week 9. Week 10, again, very, very flat. But Sweep 12, as we're in week 11, I should probably have done something with that. I would love another sweep here, considering we had 5 plays on the card and a lot of them being plus money, such as the lock, but that shouldn't be plus money. Absolutely insane to me. So if you guys are looking to jump into the Discord and get all of the plays, all of the pick'em, all of the goodness, do so today. Promo code SWEET12, the link below. Let's get out of here. And that does it for a Week 11 edition of NFL Lindy's Lean Likes and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for this one. Flew through it. Lots of information. Want to get the video out here for you so you can get the best numbers as well. You always get them in the premium Discord, that's for sure. But NBA, got some work to do here for today. I don't think LaMelo Ball is playing basketball. That is a fact. I just wish we got Colin Sexton props ahead of time. Why did they go to not do this stuff this year? They've been very difficult on me. That's all right. We will always find the edge. We will find the edge. Hopefully, Aaron Jones can find the edge and run that way into the box school. Let's get out of here. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NFL streets on Sunday, Week 11. Bye.